I'm Rita Crandall, and this is Vbite. In the news, a Russian man has been arrested for falsifying documentation allowing him to become a doctor. Boris Kondrashin was put into a mental hospital for 10 years after doing a ritual with his classmate, drugging him, doing a ritual, and then drinking his blood. Upon being arrested, he said that he was a vampire, and consequently he was put into a mental hospital, recently released, and then falsified the documentation allowing him to become a doctor. His primary responsibilities were to encourage people not to drink and smoke and tell them about the benefits of exercise. So he has been arrested. I have a photo of what he looks like in case you happen to know this gentleman from your past somehow. Anyway, he is now in custody and hopefully will not be hurting anyone else. In vampire media, there is a lot going on. So the BBC has announced that they are doing another Dracula series, but this one sounds really wonderful. It's by the same people that did Sherlock, Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss, and they have hired Danish actor and musician fang. And his name is spelled C-L-A-E-S. Anyway, it looks like a very intense vampire Dracula series. More serious, very bloody. So we're looking forward to that. Okay, also, I just got done watching the first episode of the first season for a show called Tokyo Vampire Hotel. And I highly recommend it. There are subtitles, English subtitles. Very well done. The first episode is very brutal, but very original and a really fun watch. For Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans, there's great news. So this year in January, Kiersten came out with the series. She's a YA author, and her first book was just called Slayer, and it takes place in the land of Buffy the Vampire. And so her sequel is called Chosen, comes out this following January 2020, and it's basically littered with references to Buffy, Angel, and other characters, including Kennedy, and it's filled with the characters Buffy the Vampire Slayer's love and love to hate. So we have that to look forward to. And if you haven't picked up the first book, you can do so. Another film, a 2006 film called The Sect, is with David Carradine as Van Helsing. It's about a reporter, Sydney, and she and her comrade go to what they believe to be a dating service called Artemis, which turns out to be an underground vampire sort of dating service. And that was a kind of a fun watch too. Okay, that's it for vampire news this week. We will see you next week on Vbite.